up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down.
You are listening to Pizain's podcast on the Three Bozos Network. Yo, let's go.
Welcome to another episode of Pizain's podcast on the Three Bozos Network. I am your host, Pizain the Pizain. As always, don't forget to follow, subscribe, download our podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. You can find us anywhere. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio. We're even on YouTube. You can even say, Alexa, play Three Bozos Network podcast, and it'll pop up. Yep, I've tried it. It works. Additionally, you can find us on social media, X, Instagram, and TikTok. Speaking of TikTok, we're trying our first ever. I'm doing a live stream of the podcast on TikTok while I'm recording it. We're getting high tech in this motherfucker. Yeah, boy. So, like always, if you've listened to me before, and to our new listeners, the people listening on the stream, you might want to start with some of the newer episodes. The earlier episodes, they're good. They're a good backstory, give you a sense of what we've accomplished since then, but they're kind of rough, a little bit stiff, if you will. We've kind of come into our own over the few months that we've been doing this. So I recommend Pizain's podcast special guest, my wife. That's a good one. I have one that's a little more serious. Pizain's podcast, Heart Attack. Yes, I'm only 40 years old, and I had a Widowmaker heart attack. Spoiler alert. And I go into that one. That one's a little heavy, you know. If you're not looking for humor, then yeah, maybe don't listen to that one. But it has some good stuff in it, some good life lessons. So, and then like always, check out The Big Show. That's our main show. You got me, Pizain the Pizain. You got Javi Bose, and you got Brooksy Boy. We get together once a week. We're three best friends, known each other all our lives, ever since second, third grade. And you don't get friends like that too much anymore. And although we live in different areas of the country, we still try to keep in touch. And this is how we do it, through our podcast and our humor. And you can join us along the ride. So, anywho, into my daily struggles. A little bit of a boring day. For the new listeners, I'm self-employed, family business, and we've just moved to a new building. A lot of stuff goes on with that. You gotta get the AC repaired. You gotta get the electricity over. A lot of just boring, mundane shit that nobody ever tells you about. So, and then there's a new drive to work. Didn't even think about this. I've been getting there early. No problem. Today, left 30 minutes late. Took me 2 fucking hours to get to work. Gotta love Florida traffic. Oh yeah, that's great. So after all that, come home, have a nice, lovely dinner with the family. I have a wife and a child. He's a 2-year-old toddler, the apple of my eye. But today, well, let me first get to dinner. We had a lovely salmon dinner with rice. It was delicious. And then my son, I look over and he's eating his Oreo cookie. He loves his Oreo cookies. He splits them in two and he rubs it all over his high chair and then licks it up, and like a dog, he's a crazy one. Well, I see him, he's doing the old and I know what that means. Yes, that means it's coming back up. So as I look over at my young toddler, I see a mountain of black and cream coming out of his chin, down his shirt and into his pants. But like a champ, he didn't cry. He threw up 3 big pukes. It was gross. It was disgusting. But he did not cry. In fact, he laughed afterwards. He's a little psycho. But he's my little psycho, and I love him. And to tell you the truth, for puke, it didn't smell too bad. It smelled like cookies and cream. Have you ever had cookies and cream ice cream? Well, it's kind of like that, but more mucusy. So, anywho, my wife cleaned that up. I cleaned him up, and yippee-yo, we were ready to go. Me and my wife just jumped right back into dinner after that. Cold salmon. But, hey, it's not the first time we've dealt with a pukey toddler. But that called for a glass of wine after, because, well, sometimes you just need to take the edge off. That's about it. No, nothing else really going on that front. So, yippee-yo, let's go on to the news. Well, we're going to do things a little differently today. I'm always doing things differently. If you haven't listened to the show before, I kind of, depending on what news source I want to go by, I have a 1440 news feed. It's emailed to me daily. It's supposed to be impartial news, just the news. Sometimes I'll go to AP News. Other times I'll just Google the word news and see what comes up. And then I give my less than bright opinion on it. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth. It could be some insightful words, and it could be the dumbest fucking thing you've ever heard in your life. But hey, join me on the journey, and we shall see. Rivers swell in Iowa. A number of towns across Iowa's northwest and north-central regions were evacuated over the weekend as torrential rain swelled rivers and caused widespread flooding. Oh, no. Sioux County's Rock Valley, home to around 4,000 people, suffered severe flooding after a levee break. Official measurements showed the river cresting more than a foot above record levels. That sucks. Living in Florida, we always have to deal with flooding. Our flood insurance is through the roof. Like, we gotta pay so much fucking money for flood insurance. I envy everybody else in the country for their flood insurance that they don't have to pay just because I live in below sea level, humid as fuck. Every time it rains, it floods. Hurricanes, just yippee-yo, come out of nowhere. Fucking Florida. Lived here my whole life. Kind of wish I didn't anymore. It's so fucking hot. I mean, I know it's hot everywhere, but, well, that brings me to the rest of this story. Separately, much of the eastern U.S. endured high temperature and humidity, with more than 100 million Americans under either a heat warning or heat advisory over the weekend. Thermometers reached the upper 90s along the I-95 corridor from Virginia to the northeast, with Washington, D.C. reaching triple digits. That's fucking crazy. That far north reaching triple digits. Good news, the heat is expected to recede towards the later half of the week. Excuse me. The rest of the country is finally feeling what it's like to be in like fucking Florida and Arizona and like southern Texas and Louisiana. It's like that all the fucking time. It sucks. We get like maybe like 3 weeks of cold the entire year. Fucking ridiculous. I'd love to live in somewhere like Asheville, North Carolina. I've been there plenty of times. Maybe not exactly in Asheville. The people there are kind of fucking pretentious, but around it, like 20 minutes outside in any direction, lovely, beautiful, nature-y, weather's great, lots of breweries. That's the best part, breweries. Yes, I've been a few times now, and it's lots of fun. Maybe I'll buy a cabin there one day. We shall see. I think we're going to skip the Israeli talk today, as we got a Tel Aviv protest thing going on. I've had some pretty spicy takes on the whole Israel-Gaza conflict. Basically, I'm very critical of Israel's response to the terrorist attacks on October 7th. And it seems to be rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. I don't really give a fuck about that part, but I've kind of talked about it to death. Nothing really else I can add to it. If you haven't heard my opinion before, it's basically, some terrible barbarian Hamas motherfuckers killed a lot of innocent people and took some more hostages, and they deserve to pay. But Israel is bombing the fuck out of a lot of civilians and killing children and women too, trying to get them. So they have no, I don't know, they don't value Palestinian lives at all. I see both sides of it, but that's basically the elevator pitch of my opinion, all that shit. We're not going to get into it. I said I wasn't going to get into it. What'd I do? I got into it. Jesus Christ. Stuck in space. NASA officials said Friday the return of Boeing Starliner spacecraft would be delayed indefinitely as engineers reviewed data from the inbound flight to the International Space Station. Oh no. Have you guys ever seen the movie Gravity? Well, I don't think it's like that. Additionally, I never saw the movie Gravity, but I kind of know what happens, so what's the point? This kind of stuff happens. Let's see. The vehicle reportedly suffered a number of small helium leaks and experienced issues with 5 of 28 thrusters and is docked with the station in early June. So they'll get it fixed. They'll get back. It's not a big deal. It's just like one of those, we'll wait and see what happens. No biggie though. Inside Out 2 becomes a 2024's highest grossing film, pulling in $285 million at the U.S. box office after just a week. It looks like movies are back. I thought movies were dying out, but I guess with COVID being gone, people are going back to the movie theaters. And I haven't seen a movie in a movie theater probably since maybe Avengers Endgame? I don't know. Maybe one more after that. I'm not quite sure. But, I really like a Cine Bistro, a place where you can drink and eat and watch the movie. Those are pretty cool. I like those. But I'd rather just sit at home, stream it, watch it. No biggie. The U.S. to ban sale of antivirus software products from Russia-based Kaspersky Lab beginning in July. That they used to be a huge deal. I think that used to be my antivirus back in the day. I think Kaspersky was like the best. And now, well, they have Russia attached to them, so see ya, Kaspersky. And existing U.S. home prices hit record high in May with a median price of $419,000, up nearly 6% year over year. Rise comes despite new inventory of homes for sale jumping more than 18% over same time frame. That's good for my home price. See, I wish that would stay up and then the interest rates would go down. And that way I can sell my house and I can buy a bigger, fucking better house at a better rate. Because 8% interest rate, fucking see ya. No way am I buying a house with that bullshit. 3%, maybe 4%, but I don't know. But yeah, these little cookie cutter homes, neighborhoods popping up fucking everywhere. I moved here, there was none. Now they are fucking everywhere. Every fucking where. And that means more traffic and more assholes and more people. We got this thing in Florida. It seems like every fucking loser from every other fucking state moves here and they think the sunshine's going to get rid of all their problems, but they're still a fucking loser when they move down here. I got these neighbors across the street. They're from an undisclosed location in the Northeast that you can tell with their stupid fucking accent. And they are the biggest fucking losers I've ever met in my life. They're renters. Not that matters, but they like keep all their kids' toys in the front yard and shit. They let their yard get all gross. And then the very first week that they were here, they moved in. They left their windows down in their car with the keys inside, and somebody fucking stole their car. Very first week. And they still fucking did it after they got their car back. They're fucking morons. And that's like describes the people in Florida that aren't from Florida that move here. The people from Florida, I really probably do meth, honestly, or fuck a gator. I don't know. I'm from here. My family's from here. My family's from here. And yeah, there's like an old kind of rednecky side to old Florida. But yeah, I'm sick of Florida. I'm fucking sick of it. We got good beaches. That's about it. Fucking take your sunshine. I'm sick of it. Some dude killed 4 people killed, 9 others wounded after shooter opens fire at an Arkansas grocery store. And nobody knows why he did it. But he is in custody, so that's good. No, we live in America. This stuff's gonna happen. We're never gonna. Whatever your opinion is on gun rights, they're not going anywhere. Nothing's gonna happen. And so we're just always gonna have these kind of stories. My opinion, not gonna take my guns. No, America, Wolverines. Yeah. Anyway. But doesn't matter. You're always going to have these stories. And, hey, I guess news sources something to talk about, I guess. Oh, this is a follow-up to another story I did earlier in the week. More than 1,000 people dead during, I think it's Hajj, Hajj, the annual Muslim pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca. Officials blame extreme heat, with temperatures reaching 120 degrees Fahrenheit. 120 fucking degrees. That is fucking ridiculous. That's like you go outside and you just completely, I don't know, all your water just leaves your body at once through your pores. You shrivel up to like a scarecrow, and then you just turn to dust and blow away into the wind, never to be seen again. Yep. That's 120 degrees. That's what it feels like outside. These motherfuckers are crazy. I understand it's like a holy, yeah. They do it. They got to do it for their, religion and everything, but I mean, I just wait till next year. See, it was a little cooler, maybe 110 degrees. Ugh. Anywho, so we're going to do 2 days in history. This is for yesterday, so let's do this day in history, and then we get to do this all over again for fucking today. Yeah, you get double duty from Pizain the Pizain. Fuck yeah. Boxing great Jack Dempsey, born in 1895. Jack Dempsey was this little dude who would knock out big dudes because they didn't have weight classes back then. And he did the Dempsey roll, which would be like him kind of rolling and putting his entire weight behind his punches, and then he'd catch himself and then roll back up and punch the other way. You ever seen the anime or manga Hajime no Ippo? That's his like Sunday punch, his special move, if you will. I love that. Hey, I'm not going to get into whole my anime manga geekiness. That's a little too geeky. Sometimes I'll talk about comic books or some other nerdy shit, but I save that for like my private, what do they call that? Guilty pleasure. My guilty pleasure. Yeah. Hajime no Ippo. Top 3 anime all time. It's fucking fantastic. It's the best. I don't even like boxing that much. I mean, I do. It's okay. I'll watch it sometimes, but I'm not like hugely into it. Not back in the day with Tyson. Hajime no Ippo. Fucking amazing. Amazing. Watch it. Anyway, he develops this the Dempsey roll, and it was all based off of the great Jack Dempsey. Also, there's a cichlid fish common in aquariums called the Jack Dempsey, and that's because he's a tough motherfucker. And now you know. So what else? We got the first exhibit by Pablo Picasso opens in Paris in 1901. I've always thought Picasso was a bit overrated. I never really understood all his art. I think he had that blue period. Those were kind of cool. But most of his shit's just like shit my toddler could draw, it looks like, you know? It looks like, we go outside with his sidewalk chalk, which he loves his fucking sidewalk chalk. Draw on all sorts of shit. Sometimes he draws on the dog. And it looks better than the shit Pablo Picasso puts out. So maybe he'll be a great artist. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping for football player, but then there's the whole CTE thing. Got to worry about that too. Parents got to worry about all sorts of fucking bullshit. I love football, but do I want my kid to play football? Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Actress Mindy Kaling, born in 1979. She is Kelly Kapoor on The Office, if you don't know that, but you should know that. Everybody knows who fucking Mindy Kaling is. Kaling. If you have seen her, have you seen her lately? She's like white now. Like she was very dark skinned. Like look at early episodes of The Office and look at her now. She's like white. She's got a lot of work done. I know my wife was telling me she just had like another kid, 1979. That makes her like what, 45, having kids. Holy shit. That's crazy. Soccer star Lionel Messi, born in 1987. I'm older than I did not know I was older than Messi. I guess so. I'm an old fuck. Yeah, you get older and older and people get younger and younger. Messi. I like Messi though. He's like the he's like a little dog, but he's got a big dog heart. What do they call that? He got dog in that. He got that dog in him. Yeah, he got that dog in him. Condominium collapse in Surfside, Florida, kills 98 in 2021. I remember that. Yeah, just like a shitty condo just decided to collapse out of nowhere down in Miami, pretty much. Yeah, that was a big deal. Killed 98 people. Also because of shoddy construction. I feel like that with the shit they're slapping up around me right now. It's like these apartments, like I said, the cookie cutters, all the cookie cutters have apartments too. And it's just like matchsticks. You think in Florida there'd be more concrete because of all the fucking hurricanes. But no, it's like matchstick wood everywhere. Fucking ridiculous. I could see something like that happening around here. And we have a quote from Pablo Picasso. It isn't up to the painter to define the symbols. The public who look at the pictures must interpret the symbols as they understand them. Well, it isn't up to the listener to define this podcast. The listeners who look at the podcast or listen to it with your ears, when we do have our TikTok streamers looking at me right now, well, looking at my mouth while I have a hamster overlay on top of me. I like to keep a little anonymity. I like to be anonymous. For now. I have some spicy political takes, and who knows who's listening. I have a family. I have a business. They can come after you. But hey, if I get big enough, you never know. This could be primary income. You guys can see my face. It's okay. If you can see it now, okay, that's cool too. I don't know. Anyway, Pablo Picasso. Interpret my words as you understand them. I kind of fucked that one up. If you've listened to my shows in the past, I'll take one of these quotes and I'll apply it to a podcast. And I don't know. It works. Not this time, though. But hey, guess what? I get another chance at this because we still have a whole nother set of stories to go through on a Tuesday. That's right. Tuesday. Let's see. The Florida Panthers hoist the trophy. The Florida Panthers won their first Stanley Cup last night, defeating the Edmonton Oilers 2-1 in Game 7 of the NHL Finals. Talk about almost the biggest choke job ever. Fucking A. They were up 3-0. They were ready to win at any time. And then they let the Oilers come back all the way from 3-0 to 3-3. They let them tie it up, and then to beat them, they only beat them 2-1. Like, their butthole was all like puckered up that whole time. Like, ooh, shit. That would have been funny though. Honestly, I'm a Lightning fan. I don't really like the Panthers all that much, even though it's a Florida team. But I also really don't care about hockey all that much. If once the Lightning was out, I was like, I don't really fucking care anymore. So, hey, good for you, Florida. I think it's their first one. I've been seeing all sorts of funny videos online. I think one of them like jumped into the ocean with the Stanley Cup and down in Miami Beach or some shit. And then another one was on like a second story balcony, filled it up with booze, and then dumped it on a fan who had his mouth open. So they're doing funny things with the cup. I do like how hockey does with their trophy. No other sport does that. There is always funny stuff. I think the closest you had was Tom Brady, drunk ass Tom Brady on a boat, throwing the Lombardi trophy from one boat to the other. That's about as close as you get. But the Stanley Cup, they got a million things, a million fucking things. Always like drinking booze out of that thing. It's pretty fucking funny. I always liked it. But not so much on hockey. I tell you what do we got going here? Yeah, let's keep going. Freaky Friday 2 confirmed for 2025 theatrical release will feature Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan reprising their original roles. I know everybody's really excited about that. Super excited. I always thought Jamie Lee Curtis was pretty hot back in the day. And then it came out that she was like born a hermaphrodite. And I was like, still pretty hot. I don't fucking care. And then Lindsay Lohan, back in, the day, I think she's like exactly my age. Yeah, she was really hot too. And then she went on her whole crazy hoary phase. And then, but now she's making a comeback. I think she got past her demons, making a little bit of a comeback, Remember when she used to date Fez from that 70s show? Wilbur blah, 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 Wilbur blah, 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 that guy. And he was all talking about how he banged her and everything. He's kind of sleazy. But hey, I don't blame him. Banging hot chicks in Hollywood. I'd do the same thing. Tamayo Perry, professional surfer, and the Pirates of the Caribbean actor dies at 49. My wife tells me he was also in Blue Crush, if you've ever seen that movie. Following shark attack in Hawaii. I would guess it's a tiger shark. They got crazy fucking tiger sharks over there. And, yeah. That sucks. That's a bad way to go. Getting eaten by a fucking shark. We got plenty of sharks around. We got the bull sharks around here. Fuck a bull shark. I've talked about it before in a podcast. Fuck a bull shark. I fucking hate bull sharks. They suck. It's like, hey, let's just cram this death machine full of teeth, full of as much testosterone as possible, and throw them in the ocean. Good luck, world. Fuck that. What was God thinking on that one? He was thinking about, I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to make something cool. If you think about it, if you made it and it can't fuck you up, it's actually kind of cool, It's like a death machine with a lot of testosterone. You just throw it in there. Clear the old sinuses out. Hell yeah. I'm seeing some spots now. That was a big one. Oh, that took it out of me. Jeez. Trying to focus back on here. Okay. Car dealerships across the US and Canada continue to experience disruptions in operations after last week's back-to-back cyber attacks on CDK Global software used by auto retail sales industry. Oh no. Now, to me, that doesn't sound like a big deal, but I've heard some people, I know some people in the auto industry, and they say it's a big fucking deal. It could be used for political motivations, and we don't really know. Honestly, I don't even know. They just told me it was a big deal, and I took their word for it. I told you, I'm below average intelligence. Sometimes I just believe things that people tell me, and I'm okay with that. Wiki founder Julian Assange to plead guilty to violating the Espionage Act in a U.S. court in the Northern Mariana Island local time Wednesday. Assange to be released to Australia, his country of citizenship. So Julian Assange is free. And how did he have to get free? He had to plead guilty to a felony. Honestly, Biden should have just, or Trump should have just pardoned him a long time ago. He didn't deserve any of this shit. He basically is just WikiLeaks just showing the U.S.'s dirty laundry, all the shady shit we've done. Okay, maybe don't do the shady shit, you know? But whatever, he's free. He's back with his family. I think it's all something like he was in like jail for like 1,000 and something days. Fucking crazy. U.S. Supreme Court agrees to hear challenge to Tennessee law banning gender-affirming care for minors. Should I touch on that one? Well, I tell you what. If you listen to The Big Show, episode 1, you can hear Wizane the Pizain, Hobby Bo's, and Brooksy Boy's opinion on this very matter. So you can find that in my bio for all my TikTok streamers that are listening right now. Just go to my profile and click the link in the bio, and there you go. Yippee yo! Take you to the Spotify page. Listen to episode 1. Get our opinion on it. Some batteries exploded in South Korea and killed 22 workers. That's a fucking big ass battery. Or maybe it was a lot of little batteries. Chain reaction. I know I've seen some batteries like do some fucked up stuff like blow up, and I've seen like some videos where a cell phone battery burned like through a pant leg of somebody and shit like that. What kind of batteries did this? Killed 22 fucking people. It's a badass battery. This is my favorite story. North Korea resumes sending balloons likely carrying trash towards South Korea. North Korea has reportedly dropped over 1,000 such balloons in the region since May. Why I like this story. I've touched on it in another podcast, but I'll rehash it. These guys cannot fuck each other up. They cannot, North Korea doesn't want to fuck with South Korea because the U.S. is backing South Korea, and the U.S. will fuck up North Korea. And honestly, it might lead to a chain reaction. It'll start World War III. We don't fucking want that. And then South Korea doesn't want any of that North Korea business either for the same reasons. So but they fucking hate each other. So the best they can do is send balloons of shit and garbage over towards each other back and forth. That's fucking hilarious. That's like neighbors who throw dog shit over the fence to their other neighbor's yard while the other one's bushes are creeping in over the fence on the other side. One of them was playing music too loud, and they try to call the cops, and the cops are just like, what? There's no music here, because they turn it down right before the cops show up. And it's just like two like pissy neighbors going back and forth. And I don't know, to me, I find that hilarious. I think it's funny. Cargo ship Dolly and remaining crew head to Port of Virginia, leaving Port of Baltimore for first time since the 900-foot ship crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge. So, yeah. Well, there you go. There's an update on that story. That's another story that's been done to death. It was a pretty big deal, though. A big fucking bridge just crashed out of nowhere because a This boat just crashed into it over circuit breakers. Fucking circuit breakers. You know how easy circuit breakers are to fix? Yeah. That's the whole reason this all happened. Fucking stupid. Let's see. Well, we're going through some other things here. Let's see. Before we get into today's day in history, I know there was like one or two other stories I wanted to get into. If I could just, here it is. So the big news of the week is Biden versus Trump and the debate. I believe it's on Thursday. And I don't even need to read this story. This one's about mental acuity. You know, they're saying don't look at the age, because they're about the same age. I think they're like 3 or 4 years separate them. But the mental acuity, who's sharper? I mean, you could just look with your eyeballs and you can see that Trump is sharper than Biden. But it's not like, you know, Trump is a fucking, you know, sharp ass katana, you know. he's got his gaffes too, and his senior moments, if you want to call them. So it's just gonna be two old dudes yelling at each other. I think Trump could have this in the bag if he just lets Biden talk. Just let Biden do Biden. We've seen enough of the gaffes. We know he's going to do it. The whole rumor is that Biden's going to be hopped up on so much drugs and adrenaline and bullshit. The same rumors came out when he did the State of the Union. The liberals are saying that if Biden comes out like he was at the State of the Union, then Trump's in serious trouble. Republicans are saying that, well, Biden is just Biden. You know, he's gonna mumble words and he's gonna stand there, look like he pooped himself, which he might have. I don't know. Old people do that; they poop themselves. So we don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. I know it's must see TV. I'm gonna watch that shit. I'm gonna watch the whole fucking thing. Prediction: Biden's gonna come out hot. He's gonna come out clear. And then as the debate goes on, you're going to see a steady decline. So about halfway to towards the end, you're going to get a lot of mumbles. You're going to get a lot of maybe mistaken names, mistaken countries, mistaken dates. You know, we don't know. And then Trump, as long as he shuts the fuck up, like talk when he's supposed to talk and not over talk Biden. Because the whole time the last time they had a debate, Trump just overtalked Biden the whole time. It did not look good, not good visuals at all. And yeah, I think that's a big reason why he lost the election. I do. So maybe he's learned his lesson. I think he's even said so himself. Should I be nice or should I be mean to Biden? And we all know that I don't think Trump knows how to be nice, except for to fast food workers. We've seen those videos. He's nice to them. He likes his fast food. He got that big junk in the trunk. We all know that. He loves his Big Macs. So that will be the epic. That'll be more epic than Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. It will. Because we all know that the whole Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight is probably going to be fixed. Jake Paul is probably going to win with some bullshit. And when that happens, I think the whole Jake Paul boxing thing is over. I don't think anybody's going to watch it. I think Tyson has to knock out Jake Paul. If Jake Paul still wants to have his wrestling / boxing career, if you want to call it, because it's fucking fake like wrestling. I mean, come on. Did you guys see the Nick Diaz fight? Or was it? No, it was the other. Nate Diaz. Did you see the Nate Diaz fight? It was just like Nate Diaz was just giving him little taps. Little tappy taps. And then he just got fucked up the whole time. That was it. Yippee-yo. He's done. Ugh. I fucking hate Jake Paul. Or is it Logan? Logan's the wrestler, right? I like him. He's a good wrestler because he's a heel. And that's good. You want a heel in wrestling. Plus he does crazy shit. I'm like, hey, I respect that. Okay. Well, having said all of that, let's go into a today in history. The Korean War began. Let's try that again. Let's start over. The Korean War begins in 1950. Celebrity chef Anthony Bourdain, born in 1956. I gotta tell you, I was never big on Anthony Bourdain, so I was a little shocked when everybody was like, when he killed himself and everybody was really sad about it. I guess he was a pretty big deal. I should probably go back and watch that show that he had. Forgot the name of it. Anyway, not my favorite, but one of the stupid conspiracy theories I saw was that when Jeffrey Epstein killed himself with quotation marks, and you see the body that they're rushing into the hospital to try to revive, that's actually Anthony Bourdain. They put him on ice after he died, and they switched the body out, and Jeffrey Epstein's hiding out in Israel or some island somewhere or wherever else. Yeah, it's a pretty silly one. Actress and model Farrah Fawcett dies in 2009. I believe she died of butt cancer, which is pretty rare for a woman. You don't see too many women dying of butt cancer. She was a hot one, though. She was hot even when she was old. She was hot when young, hot, old. Charlie's Angel. Yeah. If you're one of the younger people, look her up. She's a good one. I think she did some nudity, too. Some Playboys. Yeah. You guys don't know about the Playboys. That's right. We used to get our nudity out of magazines, and our porn was on VHS tapes that you had to. It was a hassle to get porn back in the day. Now you can just flip on your phone, and there it is. It's everywhere, you know. But yeah, Playboy. It was a good magazine. I liked the articles. I did. Not just the naked women, the articles, the jokes. Yeah, all sorts of cool stuff there. Michael Jackson dies from drug overdose administered by his physician, who was convicted of involuntary manslaughter in 2009. Oh, it was fentanyl, along with some other stuff. Maybe that's when the word fentanyl really started to go mainstream. Was when Michael Jackson died from it. I think a few. Didn't Prince die of fentanyl too? A lot of people dying of fentanyl. And then now we got like the shit that's like everywhere. I think it's like 250,000 fentanyl deaths or some bullshit like that. Crazy. My opinion on Michael Jackson. Well, first off, a story. I've told this story on the other podcast, but like I said, this is a different podcast. We're live streaming on TikTok. And I would like my new TikTok listeners to hear this story as well. When I was a young lad, just a boy, our family went on to the Magic Kingdom in Disneyland. And I was having a gay old time. Mickey Mouse came and said hello. Took a picture with Goofy. Went on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. A lot of you don't know. That's what the movies are based off of. That ride. And as our family's walking around, everybody around us gets a bustle. We see these large men kind of walking around, looking back and forth, And then right by me walks old MJ himself in disguise. He was wearing a disguise. And his new bride, Lisa Marie Presley. And he just got married. And he went in disguise and they walked around Disney World. She wasn't in disguise. She was famous too. I don't know why she wasn't, but it was a true story because a month later it was in the National Enquirer. I looked for myself in the background, but they must have taken a different picture. But yeah, so Michael Jackson, and luckily he did not molest me as he walked by. Now that I think about it, him being in the Magic Kingdom probably wasn't a good idea. Be like a sexual predator living next to a school. But yeah, old Michael Jackson. It's kind of funny how people gave him a pass on child diddling because he was like the king of pop. Think about that for a minute. He got a pass. I mean, a lot of people are hard on him, but he got a pass just because he was really, really good at music. Yeah. Well, we got an old quote from Anthony Bourdain. Skills can be taught. Character you either have or you don't have. Well, I can tell you this skill of podcasting, it can be taught. I've taught myself from first episode to now. I've gotten much better. And if you don't think so, well, go fuck yourself. And the character that I have, or don't have, has been presented to you by word of mouth, and now visually with a hamster overlay on TikTok streaming live. And, well, I hope you all continue to listen and follow and subscribe and download our podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. We're on all of them. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and X. Give us a comment. Give us a little poop emoji, a heart emoji. Yeah, any emoji or comment. I read them. I'll respond. Just look for Three Bozos Network on any of those, and you will find us. Look for the three scary clowns wearing snazzy suits. That's us. And yeah, there you go. It's been a fun live stream on TikTok doing this. Appreciate everybody listening. And like I said, go to my bio. There's a link. You can follow and subscribe and download and all that yippee-yo bullshit there for our podcast. We really appreciate it. Well, that's all I have for today. We'll have another Pizain's podcast this week. I'll see if my wife wants to do another one. My wife. We had a lot of fun on the last one. So we'll see if she wants to do another one. It might be fun. Less news, more wife. Ooh, you know what? It would be a good one, actually, because it'll be after the debate. So I'll get her opinion on it. Yeah. Because she's going to be watching it with me. That'll be a good one. So there we go. I've already booked it. I planned it out right now live. Fuck it. Do it live. And also, don't forget our main show, The Big Show. We do it every weekend. I try to get it out by Sunday night. Sometimes if it's a long one, it's Monday. I got a toddler. I got a family. I got a job. Sometimes I can't get that shit edited and out in time. But hey, check it out. It's good. At least I think so. You might think it sucks. And if you do, well, I value your opinion. And you should value my opinion to tell you to go fuck yourself. Well, this has been another episode of Pizain's podcast. Until next time, see ya.